What's up, Sooner fans? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge Softball Edition. If you're not part of this Sooner Surge YouTube community family channel, click the subscribe button right now. We still have a lot of viewers that have not subscribed, and it literally takes a click of the button. So there's really no struggle there. Click it, turn on your notifications. You'll be alerted anytime we put out any Sooner Surge content, which, if you haven't noticed, it's about 3 times a day. So you don't want to miss this. Be a part of it. Here today, we're talking about another one of the Sooner softball athletes that will play a big role next season, and that's Cydney Sanders, the transfer out of the portal last year, came from Arizona State, played a solid season there for OU at first base. Did a lot of good things, guys. Expect some great things out of her this next coming season.
I think this is going to be her best year.
I agree, Braden. I mean, if you look at it, she came on strong near the end of the year last year, and I think a lot of that is just due to you were in a new place. You're in a new program. They do things differently. You're trying to get adjusted. And there near the end of the year, she was making some massive hits for the Sooners, some bombs. I mean, she hit some bombs, guys. I think back, I don't remember which game it was exactly, Braden and Jeremy, y'all could probably help me out, but the back-to-back home run with, I think, Grace Lyons, was it?
Florida State, Game 2 of the World Series.
Game 2, I knew it was Florida State. I can't remember what game it was. But that was huge, those back-to-back jacks. And, guys, she played well at first base as well. I mean,
she did.
Yeah, I think her fielding percentage was up in 980, 989, 991, something like that. And at first base, you're getting a lot of action. You're having to field a lot of balls. You're having to do a lot of things there at the corner there on first base. So you're right. I think her fielding was a little bit underappreciated coming into that last year. And you're also right that she really felt and grew, I think, as she went on into the season with some huge plays later on in the year. And I don't think we're going to see much change from her. I think she's going to be first baseman for sure. And I don't know about in the lineup where she might move up or down to, depending on next year's squad. But I do expect more home runs. I think she hit, 7 bombs last year?
I believe
something like that. I expect her for sure to be in double digits next year with the bombs. And, if you go back to when she transferred here, the coach at Arizona State had left, which was really the big reason she had entered the portal, was because the coach left. And she really had some options and talked really highly of really the entire staff at OU. She talked highly of Patty Gasso, but also of JT Gasso and the other coaches. And in the end, I like what she said. If you go back to, there's an article in Softball America or Softball Today, she really talked about, and this is what I love about Cydney Sanders, guys. She talked about being coachable. She's a coachable athlete. She says, when you're coachable, that is how you succeed. Patty Gasso, the number of just solid athletes, ladies that she is recruiting to this program is unbelievable. And these young ladies are responding in a great way.
And I will say she played some good defense against Clemson.
Yeah, she did. She had some good plays. And I'm shocked by that number. For some reason, I thought she had more than 7 home runs.
I could be wrong, but I was thinking it was 7. If someone wants to check that real quick, you can.
I know she hit a home run against OSU. I know that.
Yeah, she came on. I'll look it up here in a minute. But she, like you said, it'll be interesting to see where she will be in the lineup. But here's one thing we know for a fact. Another year, another offseason in OU strength and conditioning, and another offseason learning from JT Gasso. It's all you need to say. She's going to be better. Guys, the hitting is always better. And what always seems to happen is they lose players. And you're like, how are they going to replace all those guys? I just don't know. And then there's three other people that are just really good hitters. I mean, so I think she could be one of the leaders in the home run category this year for Sooners, personally. I think she might be top 2 or 3 on this team this year.
Yeah, I think if she I think she could probably work on, in my opinion, and I'm not a softball guru and don't claim to be, but I think she could spray the ball around a little more to all fields. She didn't use all fields as much, I didn't think. So I think, going with those pitches on the outside. But, yeah, she's going to have a tremendous year next year as well, be one of the strong power hitters for OU.
Yeah, I mean, she hit the ball pretty good last year. Down the stretch, she was patiently and hitting bombs.
Oh yeah, and her on base percentage is pretty high. Her slugging percentage was pretty high, which pretty much is all the way up and down the lineup on the Sooner squad. Everyone hits well and fields well because that's who they are. They're champions. But it's gonna be exciting to see Cydney Sanders just with the comfort level next year, being there, being around the program for a year, and I just expect great things from Cydney Sanders next season.
And
Yeah, Jeremy, I looked it up real quick. It's showing 9 home runs.
Okay,
For the
I knew
year.
it was upper
You were
single
close.
digits.
I for some reason thought she was in double digits, but you know why I think that? As I think near the end of the year she just got really hot, and that's when I'd have to look at each game by game, but I feel like near the end of the year is when she hit a lot of her bombs. And I may be wrong, but I think she had there maybe the last few weeks of the season and into the postseason she had a good number.
yeah, for sure. But I don't think she made an error, did she, this past season?
Yeah, I think she had 2 errors, maybe. Possibly. Her fielding percentage wasn't 1,000, but like I
Yeah.
said earlier, anything in the upper 9 nines is pretty impressive for a first baseman. And I don't even recall those errors. She was a solid first baseman, guys. No way around it. Solid hitter in the lineup. Someone you want on your team. Someone who's going to, like you said earlier, like we mentioned earlier, be coachable. Great team player. Great attitude really throughout last year because early on in the year, she wasn't maybe, I don't think she played tons early, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, and she's also I wouldn't consider her like some of the other ones on the team more of a vocal. I think she was more lead by example, and part of that is because you're on a new team. You're on a new team. They're new people, and I think that's why she really kind of hit her stride close to the end of the season. She's getting accustomed with everybody around her, and she's probably going to lead differently. She's going to be more vocal this year. I bet she's going to be a lot more vocal. Um, and I could kind of tell just in some things in some of the interviews last year, it seemed like her and Patty had a really good relationship, and
Yeah.
they just the way they talk and seemed like Patty really trusts her down the stretch.
Oh yeah, and she's kind of that quiet soul seems to be. But if you this is, I mean, guys, Cydney Sanders was a Pac-12 freshman of the year. She was a first team All-American there in that conference. And again, how many times have we done a video and talked about the Sooners taking some from the Pac-12 in softball? They may have got Lincoln Riley from OU in football, but OU is stealing uh, the softball players from the Pac-12. And as they move to the SEC, even another strong conference. Look, when you're this good, you're going to get anyone you want out of the portal. But Coach Gasso is always selective as who she goes after. She does her homework. She does her research. Cydney Sanders is going to be amazing next year, guys. And hey, as our viewers, as we close this, you're not going to want to miss. We're going to have Alina Torres on live for a player interview. So make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you can get notified of that when it happens. It's going to be happening tomorrow. So be a part of that. Until next time, guys. Boomer.
Boomer.